final match between Georgia Tech and UC Davis. It's all gonna come down to this final solve. And just like that, UC Davis takes the whole thing. Berkeley shows San Diego they're not here to mess around. And Andrew takes that solve from Hamza. What a match. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. The final match of the very first season of the Collegiate Cubing Championship. Number 1, UW-Madison taking on number 2, UC Berkeley. They started off in January with 28 teams, and they fought their way all the way to today for the chance to be crowned the first ever Collegiate Cubing champion. It's going to be a super close matchup. We got $450 on the line today. We got lots of exciting things going on. We'll have Phil from the Cubicle making a special guest appearance to interview some of the competitors in between the matches. It's going to be a super exciting matchup and a very great way to round off the very first season of the Collegiate Cubing Championship. My name is Martin Albright, and I'm joined here today by Nate Hunter. And Nate, $450 on the line. There's a lot of pressure here. We've seen these two teams develop a little bit through the tournament. So what are your thoughts on this matchup today?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and both of these teams are really, really good. Like, it's pretty much an even matchup. You have, like, Zeke and Ethan are both, they're only 2/200ths of a second apart. So, I mean, it could go either way. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we got close matchups every single matchup today, and we'll be doing a little bit of a longer match. Just to remind you guys, we'll be doing 3 full matches, well, best of 3, excuse me, and each matchup going to be a best of 3 sets, with each set as a best of 7 solves. So it'll be a little bit longer matchup, maybe a couple hours or so, but we're super excited to take care of the season 1 of the Collegiate Cubing Championship for you guys. We want to get this underway very shortly, but we first got to do our coin flip. So Nate, if we could get the final matchup of the Collegiate Cubing Championship kicked off today.
All right. Oh, wait. Which team is heads?
Heads is going to be UW-Madison, tails, UC Berkeley.
All right. And it's heads.
So number 1, UW-Madison getting things kicked off today. Let's first take a second to meet our first 2 competitors of this final matchup. On the left side of your screen, Carter Kukala for UW-Madison, 791 average. On the right side of your screen for UC Berkeley, Calix Tang, 807 average. Nate, just 1/10 of a second. And I mean, looking ahead at some of these other matchups, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this really close solving this entire matchup.
Yep.
You know, we've been talking about pressure this entire tournament. There's a lot more pressure now. The final matchup, like I said, $450. That's a lot of pressure. And I mean, you know, these guys have solved quite a lot to get here, plowed through a lot of teams, just very impressive solving all around. And they're going to have to stick with that impressive solving for the next couple of hours here to round off the Collegiate Cubing Championship. Looks like Carter is going to be getting things kicked off for us on the final. Looks like he might be taking a look at blue cross here. Looks like he may have decided on that orientation. Blue down, green up. Looks like that's what he's going to go with. Oh, excuse me. Looks like he's going with white cross here. A little bit of a shakier start, but going into PLL around 7 seconds. And it's going to be a +2, so 851. Looks like that's going to get a +2 into 1051, so Carter leaving the door open for Calix.
Not a great start for Carter.
So Calix, you know, we saw him with that 807 average. So 1051, definitely going to leave the door open quite a bit for Calix to take the first solve. And, you know, we've noticed taking these early solves is going to be really, really important. And UC Berkeley coming in as number 2. Now don't put too much stock into that. These teams are very evenly ranked, and as we can see, we have a very similar sort of accomplishments between all of the competitors. But Calix is going to get things kicked off for UC Berkeley here, there on the right side of your screen. Looks like he's taking a look at white cross as well. Looks like that's what he's going to go with. A little bit smoother, more control, a little bit more stable. Going into, it looks like he had a PLL skip. 623 for Calix.
Wow. That's a good solve for him. Even he had some shaky turning on that solve, just like Carter did, but he got lucky and he found that PLL skip. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so Calix coming in with that 6:23, going to take the first solve by about 4 seconds here. Very impressive start for Berkeley. Very great solve for Calix as well. Really setting the tone here, putting Berkeley up on top early on. Calix will be starting off solve number 2 here for UC Berkeley. We'll see if he can follow up some of that magic that we saw in that first solve. Calix looks like he may be looking at white cross here. He's got that one oriented cross edge you can see right there. Another one there on the right side of the cube. Calix going in with white cross. Quite smooth F2L going into PL around 6 seconds. 7:37 for Calix.
Solid solve. That doesn't make it very easy for Carter.
Yeah, definitely going to put pressure on Carter there, and we see a little bit more consistency and stability in Calix's solving than we saw in Carter's first solve. Carter a little bit of a jittery mess we saw, so maybe he can get locked in here. Looks like Carter may be looking at yellow cross now. So a different solution perhaps. We'll see if that's able to work out for him. Going in with yellow cross. A lot more stability in solve number 2 here, but still some shakiness. Lockups, 7:01 though.
A good peel, a skip again. That's one for each.
And Carter taking solve number 2 by 0.3 of a second there. You know, I think we saw with Calix a little bit more stability, a little bit more consistency, but Carter just able to find a better solution there, I think.
Yeah, clearly the pressure's on for them.
It's okay.
Yeah, so now set number 1 tied up 1-1. Carter and Calix going at it in the Collegiate Cubing Championship final matchup. And Carter will be getting solve number 2 kicked off here. And so yeah, just 0.3 of a second. Carter may not have been able to secure that second solve without that PLL skip. So we're seeing a really high level and very consistent solving from Calix. You can see there 6:23 in his first solve, take about a second for PLL. So around the same time going into PLL, Carter going in with white cross here for solve number 2.
More lockups.
Still a little shaky, but 7:82. Carter a little frustrated there, but not a bad solve.
No, that definitely leaves a good chance for Calix to lose or win this solve. They both have a good shot at winning this one.
Yeah, still some pressure on Calix, but still a toss-up solve for sure. Calix looking to reclaim a little bit of a lead for Berkeley here in solve number 3. And yet, Calix looking at white cross, maybe yellow. Looks like they got that blue, red, white pair there. Looks like he may be favoring that yellow cross solution. Looks like that's what he's going to go with. I believe Carter went with white cross. 7:05 for Calix, so he takes solve number 3.
You can tell he's nervous. You can tell that they both are nervous. And that was some shaky turning, but he still managed to get, good execution nonetheless. Maybe not as good as either of them are hoping for, but it looks good to me.
Yeah, Calix coming away with the win on solve number 3 there by about 0.8 of a second. So UC Berkeley up on UW-Madison in set number 1. Still a lot of solving ahead of us. I think so far what we've seen, Carter just very, very shaky, very uncharacteristic for him. And like you were saying, we're seeing some shakiness and jitteriness from Calix as well. But it seems to be a little bit more under control for him. And we're seeing these different styles, different ways of handling these nerves playing out. $450 on the line, like I said, and of course, the honor of being the first ever Collegiate Cubing Championship. Calix going into solve number 4 on white cross here. Very smooth F2L. Some lockups and PLO. 878 for Calix.
That's another solve. Wait, no, Carter didn't do this solve yet. But that could be another solve for Carter, though. That's leaving the door pretty wide open. It's very possible.
And I think we're seeing those nerves come back into Calix's solving a little bit more here. 878, just not quite up to scratch to what we're familiar with Calix. So, like you said, Nate, leaving the door open quite a bit for Carter. It looks like Carter may be looking at the white cross solution here. It's like that's what he's going to go with. Yep. Oh, but pausing in F2L. Let's see if he can recover. Lockups going into PLL. Lockups in PLL. Disaster. Disaster time going past 13 seconds. 14:05 for Carter. Crucial solve that puts Calix at set point here.
That is unfortunate. I'm not even sure what happened. It looked like maybe they did the wrong OLL, or maybe just messed up during PLL, had to redo OLL. I'm really not sure. That's unfortunate.
Very, very rough time here for Carter in set number 1. Calix now up 3-1. Set point for UC Berkeley to take that crucial first set. And folks, remember, a lot of solving ahead of us. And Carter was coming in with a bit of an edge on Calix, and that's just not quite playing out here. So we'll see if Carter's able to get something going into solve number 5 here. Like going in with the yellow cross solution. A little bit more confidence, still some jitteriness here, but a lot better. 693, that looks to be okay.
That looks good. That's going to be Carter's fastest solve of the set so far.
So 693, a lot better of a solve. Able to get something started here. No +2, which is going to be a big saving grace. So definitely possible for Calix to take set 1 on this solve, but Carter making it difficult. So we'll see what Calix is able to pull out. Like we've seen, Calix is also suffering from some competition nerves as well. Maybe able to keep it a little bit more under control than we've seen from Carter. But we'll see what Calix is able to do going into solve number 5. Immediately looking at that yellow cross solution, maybe white. I believe Carter went in with yellow cross as well. So Calix going in with yellow cross, but pausing into F2L, looks like maybe misinspected that one first pair. 797 from Calix, so not able to take solve number 5.
Carter's still in the game. You could really tell that Calix was feeling nervous. There's a bit of a reaction from Carter maybe. Man.
Yeah, so set number 1, UW-Madison, 2 solves, UC Berkeley, 3 solves, so Calix still just 1 solve away from taking that crucial first set for UC Berkeley. Both competitors having some issues with nerves, it looks like. See Calix, he'll be starting off solve number 6 here, and he's taking some time to warm up and get those nerves under control, which is going to be really important. And even in these warm-up solves, you can see some nerves, some execution difficulties that is definitely coming through in the official solves. So Calix is going to be starting off solve number 6 here, looking for something definitive to take set number 1. We'll see what Calix is able to do, looking at that white cross solution. Calix going in with white cross. Still some pausing in early F2L. Lockups, just not easy to recognize those pairs. Tough OLL, tough PLL, 913 for Calix.
It's very, very possible for Carter to get this solve and bring it to match point just like that. I think, did that look like an OLL skip or a winter variation or something to you? I'm not sure what I saw.
Yeah, not quite sure, but I know it took quite a while for Calix to finish up that last layer, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Carter's able to do. Trying to beat that 913 from Calix to tie up set number 1 and push it into set point. Still some pausing and lockups from Carter, but going into PLR on 7 seconds. Lockups, 912 from Carter.
Oh my gosh.
Just barely Carter's able to keep UW-Madison in set number 1 by just 1/100th of a second.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Wow.
I don't even know what to say. You could tell they were nervous, but that barely got them the match point there, or not match point, but the to get to 3-3. You know what I mean? Man.
Wow, Carter narrowly avoiding disaster there for UW-Madison. I mean, I think we saw the same thing, just last layer taking quite a while, just lockups, difficulties, and recognition. But 3-3 going into solve number 7 for this first set. This will be our last solve. We'll see who comes out on top. Carter taking the lead here, going into solve number 7. Coming off of 912. So we'll see what Carter's able to do. Early lockups, difficulties are F2L falling apart quickly. Not a great solve, but able to save it. Not a great finish. Either 813 for Carter, leaving the door a little open for Calix here.
It's very possible it could go either way right here.
Going to be a toss-up. And, I mean, we're seeing lots of nerves from these competitors. And, you know, sitting in the wings, I can't imagine what it's like to watch this first set. I mean, you know, both competitors mostly able to keep their composures. But, I mean, we saw Carter pull out a 14.05 earlier. Calix, I mean, it's clear he's nervous. But this will be our last solve for set number 1. Calix looking to take the set for Berkeley. Looking at the white cross solution, it looks like. Trying to beat Carter's 8.13. We'll see what what Calix is able to do here. Smoother than Carter going into it, but some pausing F2 lockups and F2 lockups and OLL. Oh, not fast enough. Calix 9.28, Carter 8.13. So Carter taking solve number 4 just barely and taking that first set for UW-Madison.
Wow. Well done to Carter and Calix both.
Let's take one quick look at this match recap if we can get this pulled up here.
Oh, what a game. Holy moly.
Okay, finally got it pulled up. Sorry about that. We can see a little bit more consistency from Calix here. I mean, look at these differences in means. Calix 7.97, Carter 9.08.
Wow. Yeah, Carter, I mean, it came down to that 14.05 to bring that mean up so much. That was just an unlucky solve, but Carter just kept just barely clinched off some good like the 9.12 versus the 9.13. That's the difference. That's what it's going to take to win this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I can imagine Calix is looking at this, just 1/100th of a second separated this solve. It made, this set, it made all the difference in the world. I mean, 1/100th of a second, we're talking like one move solution faster, like these little things like that. Calix just not able to bring it home. Very, very unfortunate for UC Berkeley. Calix had it at his fingertips. It was 3-1 at one point.
Yeah.
Carter coming back, taking those final 3 solves for a UW-Madison victory in set number 1 here.
Really shows just how evenly matched they both are.
So we'll be going into set number 2 here. Let's take a quick second to meet our next 2 competitors. On the left side of your screen for UW-Madison, we have Mihir, 7.57 average. On the right side of your screen for UC Berkeley, Heidi, 7.20 average. So a little bit more of a difference, about 0.3 of a second. But again, very similar matchups here. And so again, going to be another very, very close set. So Heidi will be starting off set number 2 for UC Berkeley here. I mean, you see, this is going to be the set where UC Berkeley probably has the biggest advantage. I mean, we've seen some fantastic solving from Heidi. She even held number 1 in individual rankings for a little while.
Holding the female 3x3 world record average as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, so Heidi, a very accomplished solver. I mean, don't discount Mihir at all either. But I think just in terms of CCC performance, we've seen Heidi having a more of an edge on Mihir, and that's certainly coming through in their averages as well. So we'll see what Heidi's able to get going. I think UC Berkeley's probably strongest suit is their consistency. Just being able to be consistently fast, and we saw that in set number 1. Carter a little similar nervousness levels, but Carter not able to handle it as well as Calix. So Heidi going in with white cross here.
Very smooth turning.
Very, very smooth. But .OLL going into PL around 7 seconds. A little bit of a lockup, 8.22 for Heidi.
That was solid, especially considering, I mean, that was an unfortunate OLL. I think that was pretty good execution.
So Heidi able to start off quite strong with an 8.22. Definitely going to leave some room for Mihir, who's also looking at that white cross solution with a lot of well-oriented edges. I can tell if there was a pause there. Going into PLL around 7 seconds, 7.94. Wow. So Mahir able to take solve number 1 by just about 0.3 of a second.
Just like last time, really, really close.
So Mahir now up on Heidi 1-0 in set number 2. UC Berkeley probably trying to look to tie up this matchup so far. They don't want UW-Madison to win in set number 2 already. That would not be great for UC Berkeley. But Mihir is going to start off solve number 2. Looking at that white cross, you got that nice white bar there. Looks like Mihir's going to go in with white cross. Quite smooth execution, some recognition difficulties in PLO, maybe 754 for Mihir.
Pretty decent solve. I didn't see anything of note. It just looked like a solid solve, honestly. It's very possible Heidi could beat this one, or that Mihir could take this one as well.
Yeah, definitely not a super definitive solve. But even Heidi some room, not a ton of room, but definitely a little bit of room here. We'll see if Heidi goes in for that white cross solution as well. Looks like she does. A lot faster turning with some more pausing. We saw a big pause right there, but going into PL around 6 seconds. 7:11 for Heidi, so she takes solve number 2 by about 4/10 of a second.
She is locked in. Like that was really good turning. Maybe she's just good at keeping her nerves together, or maybe, I don't know. What do you think? You think she's just good at keeping her nerves together?
I mean, Heidi has been one of our most fantastic solvers in CCC. She's just a strong solver all around.
Very consistent as well.
So whatever it is, I mean, we're seeing less nervousness, less jitters from these second set of competitors, able to keep their composure a little bit better. That's coming through in their solving as well. But going into solve number 3 of set number 2, Heidi looking to get things kicked off for UC Berkeley. She goes straight in for that white cross solution, it looks like. Got those 2 oriented edges there in the yellow layer, going in with white cross. Really smooth F2L. It's like that was an F perm, 793.
Some lockups there, but she still managed to sub 8. That is that is really good consistency. It's very possible Mahir could take this one, and again, it's very possible Heidi could as well.
Yeah, again, not a definitive solve for Heidi. Probably not quite what she's looking for in this moment. Mahir also looking at that white cross solution. A little bit of a slower turning style from Mihir. Let's pause, going into PL around 5 seconds, 695. So Mihir able to take that solve by about a second.
Wow. I mean, this is excellent solving from both of these solvers, both of these cubers. They seem really locked into me, just consistent, keeping their nerves under control, that kind of thing. Not making many mistakes like we saw in the first set, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think some of this slower turning style, from Mahir that we're seeing is coming to help him quite a bit. Looks like Mahir is looking at that white cross. I think that's what he's going to go with. A little bit faster turning, maybe a little bit move heavier in F2L, but not a bad solve, 697 for Mahir.
It even looked like there were, I'm not entirely sure from the angle, but it looked like there may have been some lockups on OLL, so maybe I spoke a little bit too soon there.
Yeah, I mean, Mahir able to keep things under control quite a bit, solving a lot better than Carter as well. He's just banked his second 6-second solve here in solve number 4. I mean, if you're Heidi right now, you're going to be wanting to take this solve for sure. I mean, that puts me, if you don't take this solve, Mahir is going to be up 3-1 and looking to round off set number 2. Heidi going in with the white cross solution, looking to beat Mahir's 697, 636 for Heidi. So she does it by about 6/10 of a second.
That was impressive. Clearly she's able to, what is the word? Clearly she's able to just get the solves right when it matters, because otherwise she would have been in a bad spot there, and now they're still neck and neck.
Yeah, set number 2, all tied up 2-2. Heidi coming to step up to the plate in a crucial moment, 697, 636. Heidi taking solve number 4 in set number 2. I mean, that was just a super clean solve. You really can't say anything bad about that solve, really. So Heidi going to be looking to get solve number 5 kicked off here. I mean, looking for something definitive. Mahir has not made it easy for Heidi to take solves. I mean, Heidi not solving poorly by any stretch of the imagination, but Mahir also solving very, very good. Just been back and forth this whole set. So Heidi, again, looking at that white cross solution. I noticed orange looked quite interesting, but I believe both these solvers are white-yellow. So Heidi going in with that white cross solution. Big pause in F2L. See if she's able to recover.
Ooh.
Oh, big lockups, 842 for Heidi.
Yeah, I think I did speak too soon, or maybe I jinxed it by by saying that about the nerves and lockups. But that solve may have been the worst, but it's still just barely 2 seconds behind her fastest, so it's good consistency.
Yeah, I mean, leaves the door open for Mihir, but he's still going to have to stay locked in for sure. Here going in with white cross as well. Less pausing, less lockups, quite a clean solve. 697, very, very clean solve for Mihir, so he takes solve number 5.
Wow, those last 3 solves, that is some consistency right there.
Yeah.
695, 697, and a 697 again.
So UC Berkeley, I was saying, consistency probably their biggest friend, but Mahir really challenging what I said earlier. I mean, 3 solves in a row, just 2/100ths of a second difference between them.
And they're all right at his fastest of the set so far.
Yeah, so very good consistency from here. Mahir looking to round off set number 2 now. He's up on Heidi 3-2. So taking this final solve, taking this solve 6 would round off the set, but pause going into F-tail. Looks like he's able to recover fairly well. Oh, and he drops the cube, but 666 for Mahir, so a little execution error, but able to recover.
A little bit of a botched timer stop there, and still he got his fastest time. That reminds me of, it was Maddie, right, in the PSL with the 3, it was still sub 4. That was a crazy solve. I don't even remember what it was, but yeah, good solve for Mahir for sure.
Yeah, even with that little execution error, Mahir going to make it tough for Heidi in solve number 5. Heidi looking to keep Berkeley's hopes and dreams alive for set number 2 here. Looks like she's looking at that white cross solution. Heidi going in with white cross. A lot more lockups and pausing. Oh, and that's going to be a DNF for Heidi. Means Mahir takes set number 2 for UW-Madison.
That's unfortunate. I'm not sure what that was with in the F2L. It looked like on her last pair, maybe. I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for Heidi. Let's take one last quick look at this matchup. I mean, you see very evenly matched, but just Mahir just able to lock in and stay on top of his game. You see 4 sub-7 solves in a row, 717 mean for Mahir. Heidi, a little more inconsistency, just not quite what we thought we were going to see from her. I mean, she was coming in with that 720 average. Probably expected to see another low 7 average from Heidi, but just not quite what we saw from her.
Yep.
All right, so UW-Madison has taken their second set and has won this first matchup, but we'll still play out set number 3, so every competitor gets a chance to compete. On the left side of your screen for UW-Madison, we have Zeke, 702 average. On the right of your screen for UC Berkeley, Ethan Jan, 7 flat. 2/100ths of a second separate these solvers.
Yeah, I mean this whole match between these two schools has been all about being evenly matched up, but these two solvers in particular demonstrate that more than ever with such a close average like that.
Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. UC Berkeley looking to take a little bit of ground on UW-Madison. I mean, they've given them a tough fight. First set went all the way to 7 solves. Second set went up to 6 solves. I mean, Ethan Jan probably looking to redeem Berkeley a little bit and set the tone moving into match number 2. But Zeke will get things kicked off for UW-Madison here. I believe both solvers are color neutral, so maybe we'll see some more solutions here. But Zeke looking like he's going to go with white cross here. Very smooth, quick solve. It looks like he messed up that cross. Execution error.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, rough start for Zeke, 996.
He clutches out the sub 10. Wow, that was, I'm not sure what happened there, but still he did a good job of recovering quickly nonetheless.
Yeah, so still putting some pressure on Ethan, but I mean, these solvers are just at the absolute top of their game here. So we'll see what Ethan is able to do. Looks like he may not be looking at the white cross here as Zeke did.
Seems like yellow.
Looks like he may be looking at yellow, yeah. Looks like that's what he's going to go with. Oh, man, very smooth turning, very, very smooth. I think he's got the ZB.
Wow.
6-11 for Ethan. Wow.
That's the fastest solve of this match so far, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow. That was Ethan is very, very smooth. Heidi was demonstrating some very smooth turning in the first part of her set as well. That was some really, really smooth turning for sure.
It is very, very clean solve from Ethan, and I think we can expect to see some more of that. Ethan, maybe looking at green cross here in solve number 2. Looks like he's going to start with green side down, but he's going to go with orange cross. Very smooth. Take a second to recognize the ZB.
Ooh.
Oh, but a +2, so 10-31 for Ethan.
Wow. So they both have some not too great solves to start off this set.
Yeah, it looks like what may have happened there is just a lockup in that ZB just didn't let Ethan round that solve off cleanly. And I mean, even without the +2, it would have been 8-31, pretty uncharacteristic for Ethan.
Yep.
So we'll see what Zeke is able to do with that 10-31. Going to leave a lot more room for him here to operate. Very, very quick turning. Going into peel around 5 seconds. 6-24 for Zeke.
Go.
No question about it.
Wow. Yeah, that was an excellent solve for sure.
So Zeke starting off with around a 10-second solve. Ethan responding with a low 6. Then Ethan starting off with a 10-31. Zeke responding with a 6-24. So both competitors now 1-1 in set number 3. Zeke will get solve number 3 started here. Zeke may be looking at yellow cross here. Very, very smooth solving, very, very fluid transitions. Going to the P around a high 5, 7-04 for Zeke.
Just a lot of turns there. That solution, and still he managed a low 7. I mean, that shows just the skill of these two solvers, both of them.
So Zeke making it tough for Ethan to respond to here. I mean, 7-04. I mean, both competitors are so similar in times, but they're very different in turning styles, though. I mean, Ethan knows full ZB, and so very different solutions that he'll be looking at. But Ethan going in with the yellow cross, sees that ZB, but lockup 7.62. So he still takes solve number 3 here by about 0.3 of a second.
That's an example of how it pays off to know ZBs. Even if the recognition takes a little bit of time, like it paid off right there. Zeke had a lot of extra moves.
Yeah, and that puts Ethan in the lead for set number 3. Ethan in a much better position than Zeke is in right now. But we'll see how Ethan's able to round off this set. Ethan going to be getting solve number 4 kicked off. Looks like he may be looking at red cross. We'll see what he goes with. So he's going with green side down and going to go in with white cross. Very, very smooth turning, very fluid transitions. 7.18 for Ethan.
Was that a J-perm that he did at the end? That looked like, well, I'm not going to question. He's way better of a solver than me, but that was an interesting alg choice for that J-perm. Maybe it was the angle that he had for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely was a bit of an interesting last layer solution, but still 7.18 going to make it tough for Zeke to respond to. Zeke going in with white cross here. Some lockups going into OLL, lockups going into PLL. 7.88 for Zeke, not able to take solve number 4.
It's not looking too great. That's 3 for Ethan, 1 for Zeke. Zeke is going to need to lock in a little bit here.
Yeah, and Ethan just 1 solve away from winning set number 3 for Berkeley and finally getting some momentum for them.
And as we saw in set 1 with Carter, Carter was able to lock in, and that got UW-Madison the first round or first set. Maybe that can happen again.
Yeah, so definitely can't say anything too early yet, but Zeke not in a great position for sure. Going in with white cross, very, very quick solve. Going into PLL sub 5, 5.78 for Zeke.
There you go. I think Zeke is mad at himself, and he just decided he was just going to lock in a little bit there. That was a great solve.
Like very quick turning, fluid transitions, just there's not a whole lot bad you can say about a 578 there.
Crazy TPS.
It'll make it tough for Ethan to respond to. And I think Ethan's going to be looking at a different type of solution. Yeah, going in with green cross, a lot slower turning. 522 from Ethan! So he takes that solve.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Even after Zeke getting such a good time, Ethan just, wow. I don't even know what to say.
Wow, that was incredible. I mean, Zeke, you thought he was mounting to come back with a 578, but Ethan, different solutions, now comes back with a 522 and takes solve number 4 here for UC Berkeley in set number 3. Let's take a quick second to look at these solves. Wow, what an incredible end. I mean, you can see both competitors starting off with a pretty decent low 6, but also you see from Zeke a high 9 and from Ethan a low 10. A little bit of back and forth. 704 from Zeke, 672 from Ethan. But I mean, the star of the show, gonna be the end of this set. 578 from Zeke. Ethan responding with a 522 for UC Berkeley.
That is impressive from both of them. And you can see, even still, they both had very close means. So
that's gonna be the end of our first matchup here. UW-Madison taking the dub, taking those first 2 sets here, but we still got a lot of solving ahead of us. Nate, we're going to be going into match number 2. What are your thoughts for UC Berkeley to take match number 2?
well, they've both shown, or both teams have shown that they're still very capable of, meeting the competition and either winning or just barely losing, like in the first set. So it's very possible again that UC Berkeley could get this next set and then they go on to round 3. It's really a toss-up.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are so close. It's going to be really, really close moving forward. But we see maybe UW-Madison has a bit of an edge in those earlier sets. But Ethan, just so powerful of a solver. Going to make it tough for UW-Madison if they have to move into set number 3. I mean, it's going to be tough for Zeke to take those solves in set number 3 for sure.
Yep.
But we have so we got another match up coming up after this. And, UC Berkeley going to be looking to take match number 2 to move into matchup number 3. And I mean, a lot of pressure, especially going to be on those earlier solvers. What are your thoughts on those early solvers being able to control some of their nerves?
Well, when it comes to this second set, they're going to need to keep. Actually, they're going to need to do a bit of a better job, like what Heidi was showing off, for example, in the beginning of her set. Yeah, I think nerves will be a big issue for all of them, continuing into the next sets.
Yeah, absolutely. And right after the first PSL Berkeley, me and Manu talked a little bit about Ethan's performance and how he was able to quickly adapt to some of the new nerves that come about it. And we can see that coming through in CCC. We saw Ethan early on, he was turning much quicker, and now he's turning much slower. And that's really coming to benefit him. And we see these ZB executions are just so deadly and making it tough.
Seriously.
I mean, if you're able to take a 578 from Zeke, I mean, you're going to be a powerful solver in CCC, I think.
That's right.
But we have a special guest coming up, Phil Yu from the Cubicle, going to be taking a second to interview a couple of the competitors. So we'll go to Phil now for a few minutes.
625. Okay.
All right.
Hey guys, hello. We just finished a set which you won. Before I ask anything, it's too specific. How are you guys feeling? Is this what you were looking for in the first set?
We are nervous all around. This is the first very competitive matchup we've had in the tournament. But I think it went relatively well. Winning our first 2 sets was exactly what we wanted to see. And even though my performance personally was not great, we were still able to win set 1, which is all that we were hoping for.
Gotcha. Yeah, I noticed everyone was a little bit tense. There was a lot of head shaking after the solves, but I think the thing that really changed the vibe was when Carter got a 912 against the 913, and everyone started laughing.
Yep.
Do you feel that laughing at that moment helped ease the tension?
That's a question for Carter here.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Carter can give us input on that.
Yeah, I was definitely very nervous for the entire matchup. After I got the 9, I thought for sure I was like, okay, this is the end. And so seeing I won by 0.01, I was like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. I was still definitely very nervous from the last solve.
Make it show.
But I got quite lucky and got like OLL skip to RPerm. So even though the solving was not very good, the time was not great for my standards, but it was still enough. So it ended up winning.
Yeah, sounds good. So the next set is coming. It is doesn't really give you that much room to actually change too much about yourselves. So are you worried at all about Ethan going last and him just being really dangerous? Do you feel like there's pressure to win the first 2 sets?
I could take that. Yes, I do think so. I have been doing a ton of warm up over the past day, but I've realized that I need to solve at least a little bit riskily to have any chance of beating Ethan, and then that leaves the possibility of very shaky solves with big mistakes, like I had in my first solve against Ethan. So yeah, he is being probably the best person in the tournament. He is a formidable person to have in set 3 and makes us really want to win our sets of any match.
Yeah, he looks so relaxed with the full ZB. So yeah, definitely. I guess for you guys, you got to win the first 2 sets very, very handily. And congrats for winning the first match. And yeah, let's get over to Berkeley and see what's going on over there.
All right.
Yeah, good luck in set 2.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hello.
So yeah, it's how are you guys feeling? You guys were really close. That first set was really close.
I'm very nervous. I'm nervous for myself and our team. I think this is a very intense match, so
Yeah.
it's just so nerve-wracking. I don't know what else to think. I simultaneously have like 1,000 thoughts racing through my mind right now, but also 0. It's weird.
I think it's
Oh,
been
okay.
it's been pretty close the first 2 sets, and I think both teams definitely have a shot of winning. So I'm
Yeah, for sure.
really glad we get to participate in this.
I agree.
Yeah. That makes sense. So the matchups are going to be the same going into the next set of matches. So is there anything that you think you would do differently or better, within your immediate control that you think you could, yeah, introduce into yourselves?
I guess like for me, I would probably just try to decide on a cross color faster so that I can add a little bit more in inspection.
Gotcha. And yeah, this is kind of a weird question. As a Chinese speaker, I heard you guys speaking Cantonese to each other. Is that I don't speak Cantonese at all, but it sounded like you were communicating a lot. Are those words of encouragement, or are you guys helping each other? What's the sort of vibe in the competition room over there?
Kind of both.
Okay.
We were just speaking it because like 3 of the 4 people in the room happened to speak, so we're just like, why not?
Okay. Yeah, I need to learn Cantonese. It's too hard.
We have a
Yeah.
class for that.
Oh, you do? It's great to be in university. I've been in university in 15 years. So we did not have collegiate cubing championships. So really excited to be here with UW-Madison and Berkeley. And yeah, hoping for a stronger performance. I know the guys in UW-Madison are kind of worried about Ethan, in the third set. Like his chill ZB is too chill, and they're yeah, he's like the final boss, right? So yeah, definitely I think you got them worried. So best of luck, and yeah, hoping that yeah, we can come back strong the next set. All right. Thanks so much for talking to me.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you, Phil, for that interview. And we can see a lot of nerves from both competitors or from both teams. And so we're going to be looking to see if they're able to handle those nerves going into matchup number 2. I mean, Nate, what are your thoughts on especially Berkeley? All eyes are going to be on Berkeley and those first 2 competitors.
Well, they really need to stay locked in, like how Ethan was performing. They need to have some more solves like that so they can win this set or win this this match and go on and hopefully win the third one.
Yeah, and I mean, we heard Ethan say just how nervous he was, but I don't know about you, but it did not come through at all. I mean, we saw that 1 10-second solve, but that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Ethan really able to set the role model for Berkeley, I think.
Minus that 1 solve, he was really consistent and really, really good.
Yeah, very, very fast. So UC Berkeley going to be getting the second matchup kicked off here any second now. And so they're going to be looking to stay in this match and have a chance at that $450 and, of course, the title of the very first ever collegiate cubing championship. So we're going to be looking to move into that matchup any second now. And here we are. Here are the competitors, Carter and Calix, coming at it again. Calix going to be getting this set kicked off for Berkeley. And I mean, you know, we're going to be looking at those nerves again, some of those jitters and lockups.
That might be a little too much. That's all right. It's beautiful. That's fine.
So we'll see what Calix is able to do in solve number 1. We'll see if that little interview with Phil may have calmed some of those nerves. But, I mean, that's going to be the big deciding factor here. And we saw from Carter, or we heard from Carter as well, just how nervous he was. And so nerves, again, playing a huge factor throughout this entire competition, and especially in this final matchup, $450 on the line.
I'd be nervous too.
Yeah, I don't blame these guys. I don't blame them. And, you know, 28 teams knocked out to get to this moment.
My timer shut off. Can I just
Looks like we may be having some timer errors from Berkeley. Looks like it may be
just
coming
went to
back.
sleep.
So hopefully we can get that sorted out and get match number 2 underway. I mean, you know, as we were saying, UW-Madison takes this matchup. They'll be the collegiate cubing champions. But Berkeley looking to stake their claim. And I mean, each set awfully, awfully close. And so they definitely have a shot at it. But they're going to have to stay locked in, handle some of those nerves, see what Calix is able to do going in with yellow cross here. Looks to be a lot more stable, but some hesitancy still, some pausing and lockups, but 725 for Calix.
It's a decent solve. Yeah, that F12 was solid, and then just lots of turns on the last layer. But that's a pretty good time. Could go either way on this one.
Yeah, so quite a good start from Calix, a little bit better than we saw in match number 1. We'll see how Carter is able to respond to it. Calix making it difficult for Carter here. We'll see what he's able to do. Carter looking at yellow cross, it looks like. So he's going to go with very, very fluid, very quick, going into PL around 6 seconds. Oh, but that's going to be a DNF. 779 if it wasn't.
Was that, I looked away, did he do the wrong last layer? I mean, the wrong PLO? Is that what happened?
I think so. I think he may have misrecognized PLL there, did the wrong PLL, and I mean, you got to chalk that up to nerves. You know, that's not something that happens in practice when you're solving at home. That happens, you know, when you're on a stage like this with these kinds of stakes.
Yeah.
But Calix able to take that first solve, 1-0 Carter. But I mean, you know, Calix was in this position in the very first matchup as well, and he lost. So Calix can't take a break here. Got to stay locked in. We'll see what Carter's able to do. If he's able to shake off some of those nerves and get something going. Looks like he's going in with the yellow cross solution. A little bit of difficulties handling the cube there. Lots of turning, lockups. 878 from Carter.
Nervous again, but Calix mentioned some nerves as well. I mean, really, every single competitor talked about being nervous. So that doesn't mean anything for Carter. They could very well still win this solve. As we saw with in the first set, some inconsistent solving as well. So it's possible.
Yeah, so Calix, it looked like he was able to handle some of those nerves quite well in the first solve. Looked to be very, very calm, very stable solving. We'll see if he's able to keep that up going into solve number 2. Looks like Calix is also looking at yellow cross here. Oh, but some pausing in F2L going to cost him a lot of time. 709 from Calix. Looks like he got that PLL skip.
That was a lucky last layer. I thought that Carter had that solve in the bag. Well, that's the kind of solves that you need if you want to win a set.
Yeah, Calix got that square OLL into the PLL skip. Looked like no AUF as well.
Yeah.
And so able to take 2 solves. Calix in a very good position now. Carter, no solves 1. Calix, 2 solves 1. And again, just those nerves. I mean, we saw those nerves hit Calix a little bit going into F2L, but he was able to recover. And I mean, of course, very lucky from Calix as well.
Yeah.
But all eyes are going to be on him, seeing if he's able to keep up that stable solving. And I mean, those nerves are really making the difference here. Carter just having a hard time getting anything going. We'll see what Calix is able to do.
White cross again, seems like.
Taking a good look at white cross. Not sure if that's the cross I would have gone with, but I can't really say anything. Calix very quick F2L, but maybe going to PL around 6 seconds. 714 from Calix, so another fantastic solve.
That is some good consistency right there. That's gonna be tough for Carter to beat, at least based off of those first 2 solves. Based off those first 2 solves, Carter needs to get a better time than those for sure. But it's still possible for Carter to get this one.
Yeah, and I mean, even though these are the same 2 competitors, this is a completely different set than we saw in match number 1. Carter going in with white cross, very fast, frantic turning. 684.
And there it is.
Carter.
That's good. I think that was a PLS skip as well. That looked like the, I don't know what the OLL is called, but with just 2 edges flipped and all corners oriented. That's pretty good. Just like what happened with Calix on his second solve. It's just you need a lucky solve, maybe with a skip or something. That's exactly what you need to see to win a solve in this when they're so evenly matched like this.
Yeah, I mean, Carter able to get quite lucky there and get something going, that PLL skip. But I mean, as I was trying to say earlier, these are completely different sets. But Carter going into solve number 4 here into yellow cross. Good solve, 714 from Carter.
It's good. Carter's locking in here. It's good to see.
Yeah, much cleaner solve. I mean, we still see some of those nerves coming through, just the very fast, frantic solving, that mad dash to get to PLL. But Carter able to keep things together a little bit better and lock in, bank a 714. So we're going to make it tough for Calix to respond to this. But I mean, remarkable consistency from Calix here. Only low 7s, so we'll see what he's able to do. He's been handling those nerves a lot better, but he can't relax here.
No, he cannot.
Calix looking at yellow cross, it looks like. I think that's what he's going to go with. Very smooth transition into the first couple of pairs, but some lockups in F2L going into PL around 6 seconds.
Ooh.
781 from Calix, so he's not going to be able to take solve number 4.
It's unfortunate. It came down to that PLL in that case. It was just the lockups there. I'm not sure what case it was, but so that brings it 2-2, just like that.
Yeah, so Calix able to take 2 easy early solves, and then Carter coming back with full force, able to take, I mean, Calix not solving poorly, much better solving than his first match performance, but Carter just able to bank a couple of better solves than Calix and tie up set number 1. As they were saying in the interviews, and as we were saying as well, it's going to be super important for Berkeley to take these first couple of sets. Zeke was saying, just how scary it is to go up against Ethan in that final set. And so a lot of pressure is on the UW-Madison squad to take early sets. But now in this position, Berkeley trying to just take one of these solves and then leave that second set for Ethan to take care of. And Calix right now tied up with Carter. Looks like he's looking at white cross here, and that's what he's going to go with. A lot slower of a start. Bit of a move-heavy F2L. 765 for Calix.
Crazy TPS there at the end. Oh my goodness. I mean, that was just really fast. That was a great last layer. I'm impressed. Even though that was his second slowest solve.
Yeah, so a little bit of a slower solve for Calix, but still a bit of a toss-up, right? We've seen some really great solving from Carter the past couple of solves. Not sure how locked in Carter is going to be, but it looks like he's looking at white cross as well. You can see two edge pieces, two cross pieces oriented there, and a third one facing you right now. Carter going in with white cross, but some lockups early on. A super quick F2L.
Oh man.
Going into PL6, 697
There it
from
is.
Carter.
That's another. It's just like the first. It's just like the first round. Carter started down and then just kept winning solves, and now they're back up ahead of Calix now. That is incredible.
Yeah, Carter roaring back now. 3 solves in a row won to push this into set point for him. Just one more solve, and he'll take this first set for UW-Madison, and that's going to be crushing for UC Berkeley. So a lot of pressure on Calix to step up his game here, and we'll see what he's able to do. Carter going to be getting solve number 6 kicked off here. Like he may be looking at white cross. It looks like he's going in with yellow cross. Very, very quick F2L. Easy OLL.
Ooh, lockup.
733 for Carter.
733. Still better than the first 2 solves. Not too far behind these faster ones at all. It's definitely possible that could be the winning solve, or they could go on to solve number 7.
Yeah, I mean, just going to be a toss-up here. Definitely within Calix's normal solving range, but going to be tough. I mean, I don't envy Calix one bit to be in this position right now. I mean, Carter looking to take set number 1, and this is going to be so crucial for Berkeley. It'd be absolutely devastating for the whole Berkeley squad to lose this first set. So a lot of pressure on Calix. He's got a lot to live up to right now. We'll see what Calix is able to do. Looking to keep the hopes and dreams of Berkeley alive for set number 1 of match number 2. Calix really looking at the white cross solution, but it looks like he likes yellow a little bit better. Going in with the yellow cross solution. Very slow, controlled solving. 753 for Calix. So unfortunate for UC Berkeley.
That's good. That's good for UW-Madison because they don't know for sure that they're going to win that set against Ethan. So this is really good for them going into the second set or second match.
Yeah, so Carter coming away with the dub for UW-Madison in that crucial set number 1. Look at this, Nate. Mean for Carter, 741. Mean for Calix, 741 as well. Yeah, and you can just see it's coming down due to those individual solves. Carter, again, winning 3 solves in a row. Actually, 4 solves in a row. Just that last solve by just 0.2 of a second. So unfortunate for UC Berkeley, but very, very fortunate for UW-Madison. I mean, Berkeley just looking to take that second set and then pass the needed second set to win this matchup to Ethan. But UW-Madison in a very good position. UC Berkeley, not so much.
It's going to be interesting to see what can happen next.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure now on Heidi for the UC Berkeley squad moving into set number 2. And again, we're seeing nerves really come in a lot. Heidi talking about just how nervous she is. Mahir, we did not really see too many nerves coming through for Mahir. Just saw remarkable consistency from Mahir. And he's going to be getting set number 2 kicked off here shortly. And we'll see what Mihir is able to do and how he's able to set the tone. Mihir looking at white cross. Got 2 edge pieces already in there.
Very fast F2L.
Super quick, but recognition problems. 554 for Mahir, so it's really terrifying start for Mahir.
That is an excellent first solve for sure. I don't remember what the times were that he got in the first round, but that might have been his fastest single so far in this matchup. This is going to be hard for Heidi to beat for sure.
Yeah, it looked like that F2L solution is what really sealed the deal for me here. There looked like there was a bit of a pause going into OLL there, but that F2L was just so quick, and it looked like they had that red, green, white pair that was already completed. So yeah, you can see Heidi going straight for that white cross solution as well.
Looks like there's maybe a free pair there.
Yeah, and lots of oriented edges as well. Very quick F2 as well.
Goodness.
Lock up 676 for Heidi.
It was a tough last layer. I saw a lot of pauses, maybe U and U prime back and forth before OLL. But I mean, that was, if it weren't for the pauses during OLL, that would have been a really close solve. That's one for Mihir.
Yeah, I mean, that was still quite a good solve from Heidi, but Mahir with that 554, just so scary. I mean, you know, I didn't envy Calix. I don't envy Heidi even more. A lot rests on her solving right now. I mean, if Berkeley loses this set, they lose this final matchup completely. So a lot of pressure on Heidi. She's going in with white cross. Bit of a pause in F2L. 774, clear frustration from her in solve number 2.
Not the best. I mean, if Mahir continues solving like that first one, that's not going to be looking too good for Heidi. But neither of these solves were bad for either of them. I mean, a 676 and a 774, that's right around what they average. So it's possible Mahir could clutch this one too.
Yeah, Mahir looking quite relaxed and calm. Heidi, you can see some laughter from her, but definitely some nerves as well. Mahir super quick solve, going into PL around 5 seconds, 643 from Mahir, so he takes solve number 2 by over a second.
And that was pretty impressive. He seems to, I mean, both of them have had the least problems with nerves so far, but he really seems to be even more calm than he was in the first match.
Yeah, I mean, Heidi looking at a juggernaut, and she knows that she is an even matchup for Mahir for sure, but just having trouble getting things going, and you know, a lot rests on this set. It really can't be overstated how much rests on this set. So Mahir going to be getting solve number 3 kicked off. It's like he may be looking at white cross. Very smooth F2L. Going to peel around a low 5, 616 from Mahir. So a very good solve for him. Going to be tough for Heidi to respond
That's
to that.
3 good solves in a row. That is exactly what UW-Madison needs. That is good to see. Well, if you're rooting for them, it's good to see. If you're rooting for Berkeley, maybe not so much.
Mahir fully sub 7 so far this set. We'll see if Heidi's able to get something going for UC Berkeley here. Gonna be desperate now. Mahir on the verge of winning 3 solves. Heidi still looking to win 1. So she's going in with white cross. See, a lot slower, but even a pause in F2L, not good. As the time ticks past that 616, 790 for Heidi. Mahir taking his 3rd solve in set number 2.
Clearly the pressure is getting to her on this one. Gosh, I don't envy her either. I think you made a great point about that.
So now Mahir just 1 solve away from finishing off UC Berkeley in the entire final matchup. Heidi going to be solving first on solve number 4 of set 2. Looking to get anything going for UC Berkeley. She just needs to take this set and then push everything off to Ethan in set number 3. But things are looking grim for Berkeley right now.
Maybe it'll turn around. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, we saw Carter able to pull off 2 comebacks so far. Heidi looking for a little bit of that magic.
It's a good start to the solve.
A lot more control. U-perm 594 from Heidi.
I just had to say something, and there it goes. Wow, that was an excellent solve. Much more smooth turning. She locked in when she needed to.
Now Mahir going to be following that 594. We'll see what he's able to do. Remember, if Mahir beats that 594, UW-Madison takes the crown for the Collegiate Cubing Championship. Mahir going in with white cross. Pause in F2L. That's not going to be good. Going into peel around low 5. 616 from Mahir.
Just barely not.
So set 2 goes into solve number 5 now.
Berkeley's still in the game. That really was what Heidi needed with that solve. That was a clutch solve right there.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even see, even with a 594, she just takes that solve by a little over a tenth of a second, so not even by that much. So Mahir going to be kicking off solve number 5 in set number 2. Heidi looking to mount the comeback of the century. We'll see if she's able to do that. Mahir looking at white cross, it looks like. Mahir going in with white cross. Some pausing in early F2L, pausing in mid F2L as well. Ooh. 7:55.
He knows what's on the line right here. You can tell. That, yeah, that was just a lot of moves in that solution again.
So Mahir starting 7:55, his worst solve by over a second this whole set, leaving the door quite open for Heidi. I mean, a lot rest. There's no mistakes for Heidi here. Looks like she looks straight at that white cross solution as well. Heidi going in. Remember, Missy. Lots of pausing though. Dot case for OLL, unfortunate. 7:23.
Oh my gosh. And wow, and she continues the comeback.
Wow.
This is I don't even what word would you use to describe this? Remarkable?
I don't even know. This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
Wow. This is intense.
Heidi solving the best exactly when it matters the most. So Mahir still just one solve away from crowning UW-Madison the collegiate cubing champions, but Heidi able to stop Mahir dead in his tracks so far. 3-2 in set number 2.
But there's no room for error here. She still needs another good time.
Exactly. No mistakes from Heidi. Don't even know how she's handling these nerves. Absolutely insane right now. That white cross solution looks pretty good. Looks like that's what she's looking at as well. Heidi going in with white cross. Oh, but lockups in F2L. See how she's able to handle it. Still not finished with F2L. 779.
779. If Mahir was to lose against that, that would be his slowest solve yet. But he knows the pressure of this solve, so it's still very possible. It's still very possible.
Yeah, going to be a toss-up. We saw some cracks starting to form in Mahir solving with that 755, but he's just been so strong. The 779 from Heidi, just not enough to be definitive. Mahir also looking at that white cross solution. Very, very quick.
This could be it right
But
here.
move heavy. Lockups in F2L. Lockups in OLL.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he messes up the PLL. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, 13:23 from Mahir. It's going to be all tied up.
Oh my gosh, this is the craziest comeback. This is ridiculous. Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Wow.
I bet he's really nervous now. He's got to be feeling the pressure.
Wow, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Mahir taking 3 solves in a row. Early on, Heidi now taking 3 solves for herself, all tied up in set number 2. It's going to come down to this final solve. Mahir takes the solve. UW-Madison going to be the collegiate cubing champions. Mahir going in with white cross. It looks like very, very quick F2L, but big pause at the end of F2L. 6:26 from Mahir.
That's going to be really tough for Heidi to beat. That is not what she wants to see.
Wow, Mahir locks in for solve number 7. Going to make it so tough for Heidi here.
With all that pressure, he still manages such a good time like that. Oh my goodness.
Heidi looking to keep UC Berkeley alive right now. I mean, that's an awfully good solve from Mahir. And that may be enough to take this set for UW-Madison and crown them the collegiate cubing champions, but we still have Heidi to solve here.
She's shown that she can clutch up when it matters, just with that 594 earlier. Maybe she can do it again.
We'll see what Heidi's able to do, taking that time to get those nerves under control. We'll see what Heidi is able to do.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible.
Heidi starting her 7th solve of this significant second set. Looks like she's looking at the white cross solution as well. Some pausing in F2L.
Not a lot of lockups though.
Oh, and that time ticks past 7:92. Heidi not able to clutch up when it matters the absolute most. So super unfortunate for UC Berkeley, but UW-Madison coming away victors of the Collegiate Cubing Championship with that final solve of set number 2. Mahir taking the crown for UW-Madison.
What a set. I mean, what can you even say? That would have been the craziest underdog. That would
Look
have
at
been,
this again.
Oh my goodness.
Mahir mean 733, Heidi mean of 733 as well.
I mean, if this isn't an indicator of just how evenly matched these teams are, it is, I mean, I don't know what is. That is just incredible.
An absolutely ridiculous set here. Mihir coming away with 3 solves in a row early on. Heidi responding with 3 solves of her own. You see that 6 solve Mihir with the 1323 to respond to Heidi's 779. But Mahir just able to control those nerves a little bit better, lock in with that 626. Heidi not quite able to do it, getting that 792. But that final solve there is going to make UW-Madison the champions of the Collegiate Cubing Championship. We'll play out this final set just so every competitor has a chance to compete. We'll see if Ethan is able to redeem Berkeley a little bit. But, I mean, at this point, it's just looking for some glory points. Just so unfortunate for UC Berkeley there in set number 2. I mean, but they're so evenly matched. So evenly matched.
Incredible performance, really, from both sides of the pack.
Yeah, so Ethan going to be getting this final set kicked off. I'm curious to see how this set goes because you could hear UC Berkeley talking about their strategy to fill a little bit, or I mean, Zeke talking about how scary of a competitor Ethan is, and sort of pushing off those like really meaningful sets to Ethan to try to take. And so Ethan's going in with white cross here, a little bit of a pause. But that ZB coming in handy for a low 638 from Ethan.
Wow, man, that ZB that is so cool. Honestly, that makes me want to learn full ZB or at least some ZBs. I bet Zeke here. Zeke is probably not nearly as nervous as he was anticipating he might have had to be, but maybe I'm sure he still wants to beat Ethan just for the clout.
Yeah, I mean, even just taking a couple solves on him means a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Zeke is able to do for solve number 1, going in with white cross as well. See a lot faster turning, but 792 for Zeke.
Tough there on the PLL. Some U perm, H perm, N perm. I mean Z perm. Looked like he just messed it up a little bit, but they're still. It's a close match.
Yeah, so definitely all eyes for the Berkeley squad going to be on this final set to see if that strategy would have worked out. And I mean, if I'm on the Berkeley team, that's probably what I'm thinking. Pass off all the scary parts of the match to the guy who knows full ZB, But yeah. Zeke going in for solve number 2 on white cross as well. 650 for Zeke.
Very good TPS there. I mean, that was some smooth, fluid turning for sure.
Yeah, so definitely going to be a little bit tougher for Ethan here. But, Ethan, very, very good solver. So we'll see what he's able to do against Zeke's 650. It's like he's going in with green cross.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy smokes. 469. That's going to be our first sub 5 of CCC.
That was an incredible F2L. That was done, I think, sub 3.
I think so, yeah.
All that it took, I mean, the recognition of the ZB is what took a lot of that time, but gosh, what a time.
Yeah, I mean, you're at another level of solving when the thing you got to worry about is ZB recognition. And I mean, like, just a great solve. There's nothing you can say bad about that.
Martin, I've got a question for you. Do you remember the world record that was a 469? Do you remember who got that?
Oh, You put me on the spot here. I'm not sure if I remember.
It was Patrick Ponce. That was the very next one after Felix's 473.
Oh, okay. So a nice long tradition of 469, shall we say. Ethan going into solve number 3 on Red Cross here. See if he can make a little more magic happen. 550. Looks like he does.
Wow. These are some good solves. Like, oh my gosh. That's tough for Zeke to beat. That would be tough for anybody to beat a 550.
Yeah, we'll see what Zeke's able to do against that. I mean, if anybody in our competition can take down a 550, it's probably Zeke. So we'll see what he's able to do with that. It's like he's looking at maybe White Cross. It looked like there was that free pair, I think. But we'll see. Zeke going in with White Cross. Very fast TPS, but lots of lockups going into OLL and PLL. And finishing off 886. So Ethan taking solve number 3.
Well, man, I guess he must really want to win a solve because he's still having. It seems like he's still having some nerves there, but it's going to come down to this next solve. If he can get a good time here, and maybe he'll have a shot at winning a solve or two.
Yeah, and I mean we heard in his interview with Phil that he has to solve a little bit more risky than usual just to try to take a solve against Ethan. I mean. We're looking at 638, 469, 550. I mean, those are some impressive times to put up.
Seriously.
For sure. Zeke looking at Yellow Cross now. You see that super fast TPS, just no pausing.
There you go.
Charging ahead, 563 for Zeke.
That's much better. That's probably what he was looking for right there.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to put some pressure on Ethan. This gives Zeke the best opportunity to take a solve here. You know, honestly, if I'm looking at the Berkeley squad, I mean, you're looking, Ethan just took 3 solves handily, all sub 6.5. I mean, just really unfortunate. Berkeley definitely has the chops to be collegiate cubing championship as well, but not able to hold things together. 567 from
there
Ethan.
he goes.
Oh, so Zeke takes a solve. Wow.
That is, I mean, that's, look at that reaction. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm happy for Zeke, honestly, because I mean Ethan is a tough competitor, a tough competition there, so good for him. Now let's see if he can keep it going. Maybe he'll get the next sub 5.
Yeah, maybe we'll see another comeback from UW-Madison. We'll see. I think Ethan's going to be getting things kicked off. Looks like he's looking at green cross. You see that bar on the green side. Very smooth F2L. But lockup's going into PLL and ZB, but 639, so a good solve nonetheless.
Zeke has shown that it's still possible. He can definitely get times faster than that, though. So, I don't know, personally, I'm rooting for Zeke here. I want him to get some. I think it'd be pretty cool if they could bring it to a match point.
Yeah, definitely interesting, but a lot going to rest on this solve. Zeke going in with yellow cross here.
That's good.
Oh, and it's looking pretty good, but not able to round it off. 713, so that's going to be the 4th solve that Ethan has won. I mean, valiant effort by Zeke. Taking a solve means
Indeed
a whole lot in
That's
this
a
case.
set for Berkeley.
So Berkeley taking set number 3. Let's take one last look at this match. I mean, Ethan pulling out a mean of a 573.
Wow.
That's
Oh my gosh.
Incredible solving from Ethan there. I mean, you know, you're looking at how these matches have played out so far. Berkeley just fighting so hard in those first 2 sets and, you know, just needed to win one of those sets to push it into something like this. UW-Madison, I mean, Zeke took a solve. Congratulations to him, but just total domination from the Berkeley side of things here.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Ethan, very, very good solver. Definitely, without a doubt, going to be our top solver here. So that's going to be it for this final matchup. I mean, UW-Madison going to be crowned the collegiate cubing champion. We'll still have Phil interview them and just to talk about how things went. But Nate, how did this matchup differ from that first matchup?
Well, oh gosh, I should have been thinking about this. So, yet again, we saw that UW-Madison, for example, in the first set, actually, Carter both times managed to get a comeback and bring it in to win that set. And then, oh yeah, and with Mihir, that was pretty intense. That match between Mihir and Heidi. I mean, it really is. It's all about just. This whole match has really been all about how evenly matched both of the teams are, and so it's either team could have taken it. And
Absolutely.
UW-Madison winning, it's no surprise. Even if UC Berkeley had won, that would have been no surprise either. I mean, that's all there is. That's all I think I can say about it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very impressive.
Came down to rounding out those sets, and just Berkeley just a little bit slower than UW-Madison in those crucial moments, just not able to pull off the dub.
Yeah.
But UW-Madison going to be crowned the very first collegiate cubing champion, and they'll walk away with $450. But first, we'll get a quick interview from Phil on the UW-Madison squad.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
UW-Madison, you're the winners of the Collegiate Cubing Championships. You guys seemed really, really nervous in the beginning. I felt it through my screen. How do you feel right now?
We feel great. Yeah. It was a really nerve-wracking match, but we were able to pull through. Well, actually, my teammates were.
Yeah, definitely. Starting to the very beginning was a little rough with my first two solves. Pretty bad DNF and 8.8 lost, but then had a nice few wins in a row, and then Mihir getting 3 in a row as well is definitely a great confidence booster.
Yeah, I think we started off like the first few matches we were kind of, at least I was. I felt like my solving was not up to par. I was getting a lot of 8s, 9s occasionally. And yeah, I just felt a lot more confident today. I don't know why. I've been working on my apps that helped, and also the cushion of them. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys clearly won. However, just wanted to ask you, do you think the matchups played a role in how this match played out? Because it looked like Berkeley had a super dangerous competitor at the end. The 5 solves he did, I think it was like a 585 average of 5, which I think would have been dangerous for just about anybody. So can you walk us through how the matchups played out?
Yeah, I think the matchups were really in our favor. It was very good for us to start out with a match more likely to win and then move. It alleviated all of the pressure off of me and to perform well, just knowing that we had a much more solid start rather than if our first match was difficult.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely think that it's really interesting having the pressure of knowing that the last match is kind of on the other hand, so it's a little bit more pressure these first two. But it's also like anything can happen. Anyone can even if we lose one of the 2 matches, it's not a chance. Like it doesn't mean that we for sure lost. So trying to keep that in mind and thinking like, okay, it's not necessarily over if one of us loses. I think that helped a bit.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely Carter going first and winning both of the first two of his sets. It really took the pressure off me, and I was a lot more relaxed and calm. And yeah.
Gotcha. So I feel like the second match had really 2 crucial points. One was when Carter went down 0-2, and the other one was when Mahir went up 3-0, but it somehow became 3-3. So for Carter, you started winning after being 2 solves down. Was there anything in particular that made that a turning point?
A little bit. So I think a lot of what went wrong in the first match, and generally what tends to go wrong, is that if I kind of get in my head a little bit and I don't see something that's like really a great start, then I get nervous and it kind of snowballs. So kind of before the matchup, I was trying to in my warm-ups, trying to solve turn a little bit slower, make sure I'm actually looking ahead to what I'm doing. It didn't really translate well to the first 2, but then after that, I was very intentionally do that, and so I did. And solving still wasn't great, but it was better than the first 2 solves for sure. I think out of my last 4, my worst was a 7.3. So I think that really helped me in the end.
Yeah, the other guys are nervous too. I think everyone's nervous. And for Mahir, how did it feel at 3-0, and how did that compare to it being 3-3? What did you have to tell yourself to push yourself over that edge?
Yeah, so I think my first four solves were like all really so like mentally, like I didn't look at the times when I was solving because I feel like that kind of
Mhm.
distracts me and plays with my mind. So I thought I had a good chance of borrowing, but I think Heidi got like a high five on one of them, and then I got a mid seven. The scramble wasn't great, and then the third messed up my U perm. So I was just like just locking for the last solve, and I got lucky with a nice EO to ZB, which I won look.
Mhm.
So that was pretty nice.
Very nice. And for Zeke, how does going third feel? Are you happy that you dodged a deciding set, or are you perhaps a little disappointed that you didn't get as much action?
I am frankly quite amused because I contributed nothing to this the entire tournament. Every single was just for fun because we had already the set, or sorry, had already won the match.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have some input into the outcome, but I do think it's very funny that I did not at all.
Mm. You yeah, I mean it was you had a hard opponent, and but you got some good times too. So I'm sure that was kind of good to know that you can get good times in head to head. Sometimes when you're nervous, it's kind of hard to do that. But do you think your club will do anything to celebrate? You guys won the whole thing.
I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We have a competition on Monday that we'll go to and hopefully perform well at. But other than that, I don't think we have anything special planned.
Not even like a party, club meeting.
We aren't a super active club. To be honest, we only formed to participate in this tournament.
Oh, I see.
There's not much going on.
Gotcha,
The club
gotcha.
tournament is at our house. So
Yeah.
we have
Good.
whenever we want to meet up, we just come here, and we already have three of us here that can do it. So that's very nice that way.
Fair enough. That is a new place to have events. We have a new office just for comps, and people are doing comps in their homes. That is the new destination. So you guys are obviously really good cubers. How involved is cubing in your life as a student, and how do you balance cubing in school?
For me, I don't really do as much cubing anymore, just for the WCA in general. Especially this in terms of like relating to balancing it with school. Some previous semesters I've had been, where I've not really been able to do as much. But this is my last semester at the school, and it's very it's not as heavy of a workload for me, so I have a lot more time to do some cubing. And normally I don't really practice like 3x3 much. I only mainly practice a lot of FMC, but sometimes it's fun to do like 3x3 and other events too.
Yeah. For me, it's like so I stay in Dubai, and over there, the cubing community is like just non-existent. There's like two competitions a year. So coming to the US, coming to UW-Madison, like there's so many competitions in the area and neighboring cities. So that really motivates me to practice a lot more, knowing that I have more rounds and more chances to actually perform. So yeah, ever since I came to uni, like it's been different. I've been cubing a lot more because of this added motivation. And yeah.
Yeah, I like Carter do a lot of volunteer work at WCA. Takes up most of my time cubing nowadays, and even still, I don't spend practicing 3x3, but having a competition on most weekends, motivation enough to keep working on it when I have time.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I not working at the WCA, but I do something similar. I do stuff that helps other people enjoy cubing more, and so I definitely understand. Yeah, cubing takes us everywhere though, and it creates a lot of really cool experiences and memories. So I wanted to ask you guys, looking back at this event, what was the most fun moment in your experience here? Like, is there anything you'd like to point out where you're just like, man, that's really cool. I want to remember this for a long time.
I think there were a lot of moments in this tournament where one of us was solving and the rest of us sat in the living room around a computer just waiting for the times to come in. The most tense and most interesting and then most last set where we saw him win and we were super happy, and then back to super tense when Heidi won 3 solves, and then finally Mihir winning 4th solve was just a great moment for.
Yeah, definitely fist pump moments in cubing are good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it's really like that kind of moment it kind of feels a lot like when you're waiting for the flash solves come in at like a finals, like worlds or nationals or something like that. So it's really cool to kind of have that sort of experience, but have it be in your own home in your own city. So doing that, and it's just a very different kind of take on cubing, and it's really cool that we have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so for me, I'd say the entire tournament was really fun. I feel like it's completely different to competing in actual official competitions. Personally, I find it more nerve-wracking than competing officially, but I think as the matches went on, it got slightly better. And yeah, I'm happy I was able to do decently well today.
Yeah,
I think
that's awesome.
that even the matches that I was like, I'm very confident I'm going to win, I was still very nervous, like more nervous than I in 3x3 officially, which I found very interesting. It's like there seems to be less pressure, but it's a new type of format. It can get to you a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, and I guess the new types of formats do kind of expose you to new stressors and stuff. So we did Cubing Clash, which is a 1v1 event under pretty bright lights, and people were so nervous the entire time. Do you think special experiences that are 1v1 or team-based are helpful for your preparation going into WCA events?
I absolutely think so. So thinking back to North American last July, which it was a very new experience. I know that my nerves were worse than they had ever been, but I think that prepared me very well for the other rounds of that competition and then the championships that next week. So I think that having new nerve-wracking experience is really important. Our ability to handle nerves in total.
Yeah,
Nice.
nerves are a very weird thing. It affects everyone very differently, and different situations can be stressful for some people, helpful to others. Some people do a lot better under pressure. So it's kind of just having that wide variety of experiences. Competing in a local competition versus a head-to-head format or a national final or a national semifinal, it's all slightly different in what the goal is, but there's still a lot of it's all helps kind of each other, and you get to experiences to learn how to handle new ones.
Yeah, I'd say this was a very different experience for me because I feel like the reason I got nervous for this tournament was because I knew that I was people watching on stream. So it's just the element of other people that kind of gets in your head, at least for me. Whereas in official competitions, it's like I'm just solving and I'm just doing my own thing. So yeah, I'd say it's a really good experience and definitely helped me in making my nerves better.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is the collegiate championships. So this is the cliche college question, but what are your goals after graduation, and how might cubing play a role later in life for you guys?
For me, I guess there's a lot of like really good relationships that form from cubing, and just kind of having all the both kind of traveling all over and meeting people from a lot of different areas and who have a lot of different experiences can be helpful. Additionally, just kind of seeing how I've done a lot of work with other people within the WCA. I think that has been probably one of the biggest experiences for me. That's been, yeah, I think super helpful for myself going forward.
Yeah, I'm only a freshman. Once I graduate here, but I know for volunteering for the WC can be nothing but helpful in my future, and I'm very grateful to the cubing community.
Yeah, so I don't really have like specific goals in cubing. I just want to like go with the flow of things. Of course, go to competitions as frequently as I can, practice, get involved with the community, and yeah, just go with the flow and see how it is. Because cubing's been like a big part of my life for all of us here. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
great
awesome. Cubing
Like, I've
is
been doing this for 10 years, and it's still like a very major part of what I do every day. So it's a really cool thing that, it's a pretty unique experience to that not a lot of people have the chance to kind of experience something like that.
cool. Yeah, cubing is part of my lifestyle too, and really happy that we were able to do this. Really appreciate the Collegiate Cubing Championship staff for throwing this month-long tournament, multi-month-long tournament. It was logistically very complex, but it was done really well. And my short-term goal or my short-term hope is that it comes back again with maybe new universities, new players. And my long-term goal is, maybe when you guys are 40 and you go back to UW-Madison and you're in the hallway, people are being like, yo, that's the original UW-Madison college team that won the first collegiate cubing championships. Like, I want people to recognize you for that. I think that would be really, really funny, but also really cool if cubing as a team sport was a thing, and it cannot be a thing unless dedicated and very driven people like the CCC team bring it to an audience and just try their best to create a new experience. So really appreciate this opportunity for everybody. Thank you for all the schools who participated. I got to meet the NYU club through this again, and we got rolled, but hopefully we'll be back next year. And yeah, thank you everyone for this awesome experience.
Yeah, thank you so much to the CCC, especially to UC Berkeley for the great. We're hoping to be back next year with at least one new face.
Yeah, unless he goes to grad school, right?
Yeah,
keep him for grad school.
We'll see if we can keep murder.
Don't get purposely held back.
I'll try my best.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys. It's been awesome.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you for the interview, Phil, and also all the words from the UW-Madison squad. And don't worry, Zeke, we were listening. We'll make sure to pitch you against Ethan next season when it means the absolute most. So, Nate, this is the end of the Collegiate Cubing Championships of Season 1, and we saw it in this final match. I mean, UW-Madison still took 2 matches. UC Berkeley wasn't able to pull away with a win, but we still see a really high level of solving here. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, yeah, the high level of solving is right. There are a lot of really, really good solvers. Like Ethan. Ethan is the king of just staying calm and just like with that. What was it? It was a 585 average of 5? I think Phil said is what he got there at the end. I mean that beats his official PR average. It was a 605. We looked that up. And I mean that is really, really impressive by Ethan, and really all of this is impressive by everybody. So I mean, good job to everybody, really.
Yeah, so really high quality solving all the way through. UC Berkeley, unfortunately, just not able to pull away with the W this time. But UW-Madison, of course, taking the crown, the very first Collegiate Cubing Championships. And that's going to bring us to the end of Season 1 of CCC. So thank you very much to everybody for making this possible. Thank you for coming on again, Nate, and competing as well. And you see me on the screen often, but I got two guys helping me here. We have Alex over here who does all the judging, and John in the back who does all the back end stuff that you don't see, but that makes this whole thing run. And thank you for Phil for coming on. And we're looking forward to season 2. But we want to see more schools, more faces, new teams in season 2. And of course, we're just a team of 3 people. So if you're interested in helping out at all, if you know anything about streaming, about some of the logistical stuff, or if you're interested in commentating with me, be sure to shoot us a DM on Instagram or email us at crimsoncubingclub@gmail.com.
You should. It's a lot of fun. Trust me. I had a blast.
So you get a first-hand testimonial. It's been a lot of fun being able to do this first season of Collegiate Cubing Championship. We hope to post more highlights and shorts and reels and that kind of thing over the summer so we don't go completely dark. But yeah, we're going to be definitely gearing up for season 2. Be sure to hit us up if you're interested in helping out at all. And of course, thank you to everybody for making this possible, for watching us in season 1 and making this such an interesting project. And it was a really, really fun time. Do you have any parting words, Nate?
No.
No?
No.
Well,
thanks for having me.
Of course.
This is awesome.
Well, that's going to be it from us for season 1 of the Collegiate Cubing Championship. Again, thank you everybody for watching. We hope to come back next year for season 2, even better solving, even faster and closer competition, hopefully. And so this is going to be Martin signing off.